You don't know this,
before.
but this is our second time to make this video. I'm Amy. This is Tony. You guys probably don't know him. Or if you do, you know how
wonderful I am.
This past week, we had a pretty major fight for us.
We fight?
Apparently, we're not the perfect couple. Like, who knew? 21 years later.
I'm perfect.
Is it 21?
20 this year.
20 this year.
Somebody knows.
That we've been together. Like most couples, we fight mostly about money. And we haven't fought a lot over money since Young Living has come into the picture. He's been totally surprising and supportive in this, which I honestly didn't expect. But we had a fight this week, and it was about the fact that April's been a rather slow month. I didn't host as many classes. I didn't hustle as much. I didn't care for people because I was trying to spend time with Tony. With our military background, 3 months before a deployment, you want to spend more time with them, but at the same time, you're picking fights to push them away so that it makes the separation, whenever you actually do separate for a deployment, it makes that transition easier if you have emotionally distanced yourself from that person. And it's something that everybody does. It happens. And we're coming into the 30-day, 60-day, 90-day mark for him going to a 5-month training where he has to go down towards like San Antonio area, San Marcos, Austin, somewhere down there. He'll be going down there.
I was told you can't call it San Marcos, or they know you're not from there. You have to say San Marcos.
Either way, you're down south somewhere
Way
for
down
5
yonder.
months.
No,
And so I guess we've hit that mark where we pick fights with each other for seemingly inconsequential stuff. And everything that he said was absolutely true. I haven't hosted as many classes. I have been doing a lot of busy work with this job. And at the same time, in the evenings, I've wanted to sit on the couch and spend quality time with him because I know that's his love language, and I've wanted to spend time with him and be present in the moment. But we got in a huge fight this week, and it was major for us. I ended up wanting to cuss at him and sleep with a bunch of pillows separating us at night. And
hey, you said that I said you were hot.
Yeah, it totally was.
What happened? Huh?
But tonight, whenever I came home, it's been a couple of days, and I've continued talking to him. I've been doing my samples of the Feelings Kit oils. I've been using those a couple of times a day, trying to release my negative emotions, my anger, and forgive him for telling me the truth. He's well known for being brutally honest, and I don't appreciate it. So tonight, the purpose of this video is to tell you how we are working on us.
So you mean this is the intro?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me these videos are this long.
You're stuck with me. So I came home tonight and he's like, "How was your day?" Asking me questions. And I wasn't mad, but I had emotionally distanced myself from him and cut him off. And I was just like, I'm fine. Like, it's a good day. Not much to say. Just a regular day.
I've watched the videos. I know what that's woman language for.
Yeah. And he came to get me right before my alarm rang because I've set the alarm for my business hours on my phone. And he's like, I feel like we need to sit on the couch and cuddle. Come cuddle with me. And I was like, okay, fine.
I used a better word than cuddle.
I don't think you did. And I said, fine, but you have to let me scan you because he's been complaining about his back hurting for several days. He went out of town last weekend. We thought that maybe his back was hurting because he slept funny on a cot, and not really sure. And if you know his story, you know that he broke his neck in combat 6 years ago. And it's been a long road of healing for him. But I said, I'll come cuddle you if you let me scan you. So what a scan is an iTovi scan. And so this little device, you hold it in your palm. You hold it in your palm for like a minute, and the sensors are on your palm, and it sends frequencies throughout your body. Kind of like how a Fitbit will read your body's frequencies and your heart rate and things like that. So it does the same thing. And whenever you scan, it gives you a reading that looks like this.
No, it's not
It's
gonna
too
work.
bright. Anyway, it breaks it down by whether it's an emotional oil, a physical oil, an environmental. It tells you if it's a blend or a single, or if you need a supplement. And so you can set it to scan for different things. So I want to tell you guys how we have processed through our fight using this little device and the book called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. So he scanned his first oil for Peace and Calming 2. And so I went into this book for Peace and Calming 2. And I said, which one of these emotions are the emotions that you're feeling right now? Addiction, argumentiveness, being a victim, depression,
I was totally the victim here.
indecisiveness,
Maybe I wasn't.
control, moodiness.
Sounds
or
like
scared.
a woman.
You do sound like a woman. You have always been the woman of this relationship. So I asked him which one of those he felt was most true for him. It could be one, it could be all of them. And once he said that depression was probably the top one for him, because when I'm not happy, he's not happy. Isn't that such a good answer?
Yep.
But
Man, remember that.
But this book also tells you which oil ties to which emotion and ties to which alarm point on your body. And so the alarm point for indecisiveness is for higher will at the C3. And that's where his injury was his C3 to C5. And so that area has been a problem for him for quite a while. And whenever it acts up, I told him that, for the next couple of days, you need to look and see if when you feel that pain, if it's because of you needing to make a decision. Even if it's a silly decision like whether to drink a Monster or a Dr. Pepper.
That's a very serious decision.
So I'm not going to take you through all of the things that he scanned for, but I will tell you that on top of scanning for Peace and Calming 2, he also scanned for forgiveness.
Because I need forgiveness.
You need to give forgiveness.
Is that how that works?
Melissa, which stands for shock. And I turned to him whenever I read that, and I was like, seriously, you're shocked that we got in a fight about this? And he also scanned for spearmint, Northern Lights black spruce, and finance. Finance was really interesting because we had to buy an air conditioner this week.
Yeah. And I had a check ride. $4,000 down the toilet.
But that's okay. For my scan, I scanned for a bunch of stuff, a lot of digestion issues, which I had actually talked to Penny and the girls about earlier today. But the oils that I scanned for were manuka, which is a form of myrtle, and ledum. So myrtle, the emotion that's tied to that is suppression of life.
You wanted to suppress my life. She's trying to kill me.
No. You're suppressing my creative flow here. So I scanned for that, but then ledum was very telling. Because for ledum, there are several emotions tied to that as well. Dissatisfaction, hate or hatred,
Remember that
ungratefulness,
remember that mine was forgiveness. I need forgiveness.
ungratefulness. Those were all the emotions that are tied to Leadum.
She's like, I'm not mad. Oh.
I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I love you. So
Oils don't lie.
I can then go to the emotion in this book. I can go to ungratefulness. I can go to hatred, even though I don't hate you. But being ungrateful, it tells you that an emotion is like a coin. There's a positive side and there's a negative side. And so if you have the negative side up, like being ungrateful or hate or whatever,
why are you touching me?
you want to flip the
You're
coin.
the one that hates me.
Shush. You want to flip the coin so that you can bring that positivity back. And according to this book, if you use the oils that match it for 7 times a day for 7 weeks, then, and you're saying the affirmation that goes with it, then you process out all of those negative emotions. So the opposite of being ungrateful is gratitude. Like, that makes sense. And the way out is to say, I appreciate. And you need to put that on your spleen. And you put Leadum oil on your spleen. And so I need to say, I appreciate you.
Oh.
I forgive you.
Oh. Do I get kisses every time?
I love you. Now your turn. Just kidding.
What?
It's an 11-minute video already.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I appreciate me? I don't what.
No, what was yours?
I am glad for life or something. I am glad.
You are glad. You forgive.
I am forgiven.
No, you forgive.
No, that was for hate. Forgiveness was like, I'm wonderful or something.
Oh, do you know what spearmint means? Spearmint, the emotion tied to that is lazy.
I didn't practice for this video. I'm lazy.
Okay, we're going to get off of here, but we just wanted to let you guys know that when you're having emotional issues, there's like really cool tools and stuff out there that help you process them, and they can also open up communication lines, because I'm not certain that we would have restored our relationship this quickly without opening up those conversations, without judgment, without being like, you hate me or whatever, you know? So no judgment, just opening up the conversations. Do you feel depressed? Do you feel ungrateful? Do you feel hatred? And then working through them together. So we're back on the same page with each other, and I'm very grateful for you, and I'm very grateful that we have restored our relationship before we take a 7-hour car ride together tomorrow.